All right, ladies and gents, today in front of us we have the Benchmade 560-1, aka the Superfreak, and let me tell you, it earned its name. It's a fantastic knife, but we'll get into all that here in a moment. We have an overall length of 8.46 inches. We have a blade length of 3.6 inches, a blade thickness of 0.11 inches. A little bit thinner than your average blade stock being used by the manufacturers today, and I gotta say, really like it. It makes the knife a better cutter, which is always a nice characteristic to have in your knife, the fact that it is able to cut things well. We have a handle material. It's constructed out of G10 and it is nicely textured. It really goes into the hand nicely. It's milled nicely. It looks nice. I'm enjoying that quite a bit. We also have a overall weight of 4.3 ounces. So we're not really doing the whole ounce and inch for blade thing. We're not quite there, but it is a thick handle. The thickness of the handle comes in at over half an inch, sorry, 0.62 inches. So it is a rather, it fills the hand nicely. It's definitely not a small in the hand type blade. So let's do some size comparisons here so you can get an idea of what it is we're dealing with as far as size goes. So there we have the Benchmade Bug Out. As you can see, it dwarfs the Bug Out. We've also got PM2. So it's kind of PM2-ish, but it's even bigger than the PM2. What else do we have here to compare it against? Let's do the Ontario Rat #1. So there we've got the Rat #1. See if we can get minus the glare. So it's kind of Rat #1 territory. The blade's a little bit bigger. As far as from spine to edge. What else do we got? We can do Sabenza 21 large. So as you can see, it's kind of Sabenza-ish territory, but even a little bit bigger than that. And we'll do one more because I like to be thorough. Here's the ZT 0562CF. So it's even a little bit bigger than the 0562. So I mean, it's not, by no means is this a small knife. There are bigger knives out there, but this is a big one. This one. I prefer bigger knives. I'm more of a big knife kind of guy, so this suits me really well. It's been finding its way into my pocket quite a bit. It's kicked out. It's kicked out some other knives that I really enjoy carrying, but I just find myself carrying this knife more and more. The ergos on it are just absolutely fantastic. Great ergos on this. Even the pocket clip tends to sit kind of right there in my hand, so it just contours into it just melts into my hand. It's a beautiful thing. And the contoured and milled G10 scales, they look fantastic. I'm really liking the aesthetics of the knife, and it also provides the texturing needed to really kind of lock that in there. I mean, you could strap a couple of these to your shoes and walk up a wall if you wanted to. Like that's not going anywhere. That's locked in there. The thumb ramp and the jimping on the thumb ramp is really, really nice. It really allows for some good cutting and some really hard use. If you want to get into that. I mean, not too hard. If you want to really go beating on something, well, then grab yourself a fixed blade. That's what those are made for. But this has stood up to any task that I've asked it to do. It just ripped through a whole bunch of really thick cardboard the other day with absolutely no effort whatsoever. I ran through about five or six of my different folders, because I figured it'd be a good way to test the ergos and how well these knives could really go through some thick cardboard. And I came to rest upon this one. It did really, really well going through some very thick, hard cardboard for what I was asking it to do. It was just perfect. As for the thickness of the handle, like I said, it's going to take up some real estate in your pocket. So here we have it. So there we got that. Okay, and we've got the PM2. So as you can see, it's thicker than the PM2. It's even thicker than the ZT-0562, and that's not a small knife. So it's slightly thicker than the 0562. Sebenza is a thick knife, and it's a little bit thicker than that. So I mean, as far as pocket real estate goes, it's going to be taking up a little bit of pocket real estate. So keep that in mind when you're making your selection here as to didn't really get a good angle on that deployment. However, I gotta say, it deploys very nicely. I just messed that one up. On me, my bad. Like I said, ergos are great. As far as drawbacks go, it is big. I mean, if you're not a big knife guy, then you might want to be looking at something like the Bug Out or something a little sleeker. Because this is going to take up some pocket real estate. It's definitely not a small knife, so keep that in mind. It's not a particularly light knife. It's not heavy. It's only 4.3 ounces, but it's definitely not an extremely light knife. Other than that, I really can't, like, I love the red accents. I love the whole red standoffs. The red and the black and the gray really complement each other nice. I like the lines of the knife. The ergos are just fantastic. Might do well with a finger choil up here for choking up, but you know, the thumb ramp allows you to kind of get in over top to do some good pushing in on the blade. The geometry of the blade is really nice. You've got a flat here contouring up to the belly for people who like the good flat section and then going into the belly. You got a lanyard hole there, so I mean, if you're a lanyard type person, which I am not, that's a hard no on the lanyard for me, but it does have a lanyard hole there in case that's kind of what blows your hair back. The action on it is great. The blade centering on it is perfect. There's no blade play. It's just, overall, I gotta say, if you are looking to buy a Freak, then supersize it, man. Get the Superfreak. For the upgraded materials, it's worth it. It's a fantastic knife. The ergos are great. It's a slicey. It slices things nice. It cuts things nice. It comes in and out of the pocket really well. It's not a deep carry, but then again, some people like deep carry, some people don't. Good ramp on the pocket clip, so it doesn't kind of stab its way in and out of your pocket. But yeah, overall, I gotta say, Superfreak is a super knife. If you're wondering, should I, shouldn't I? If you're into blades that are a little bit bigger, pull the trigger, man. It is a good knife. I really enjoy it. It really spends a lot of time in the pocket. So, having said all that, I hope you guys all have yourself a fantastic day and you've enjoyed this review. We'll see you next time.